Good morning and welcome to our live crafting session today. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Wednesday the 17th of August and my name's Jenny McCormack. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. I decided today that I'm going to open another of our new kits. This is called the Best Remedy kit. All of our kits now come in these great boxes which are perfect for storage, either of the kit and the contents. They're really substantial. You could also just post it like this. It does come in a cellophane wrapper, and you could also use it to gift the cards once you've made them. So you could create all the cards, pop them into the box and give them as a gift, maybe with a bit of ribbon around it to decorate. This kit, as I said, is a new one. It became available just a short while ago and it includes all the supplies you need. Just turn this out to create 9 cards. The clue is in the title, Best Remedy Kit. I know you can't really see that. I'll hold it up in a second. But basically a get well, thinking of you type kit. We've got a chick, a chipmunk and a mouse as the features. I'm just going to check on my phone so I can see if there's any comments. Hi Jeanette. So this particular kit, like many of ours, come with a set of stamps, a little ink spot, so that's a small version of our normal sized ink pads, and they also have a block and the other contents, the cards, the envelopes and all the layering that you need. So let's open this up. And in fact today we also have 2 brand new kits that we are waiting for here in Europe in our warehouse. So I've ordered those early this morning and I look forward to sharing those with you. One of those is a Christmas card kit, so if you know anybody who might like to have a go at their own Christmas cards, that would be a great kit. I think it makes 12 cards. Okay, now there is always a piece of cardboard which, if you're a beginner crafter, you might find useful to have on your table just to do some stamping on, to give you a little bit of cushioning. And all of the kits have printed instructions which are photographs, so it means that anyone of any age, as long as they can see the photos of course, can create them. You could also just look at the photos on the front, but you could also do entirely your own thing. Good evening to you, Kerry. Good morning to you, Brenda. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So these are pictorial instructions. So it shows you where to stamp the comments, even where to put the little adhesive on each of the sections. So let's open the kit up and see what's inside. So we've got a block, we've got an ink pad, we've got a set of stamps. It's quite difficult for you to see those. Let me pop it on here. It says ice cream is the best remedy for this. Even though this stinks, ice cream is the best remedy. I'm here for you. Feel better soon. A little birdie told me you were under the weather. And then we've got an ice cream tub, bunch of flowers in a vase, and a little ice pack, and then this cute little chipmunk here. And it says, sorry, life stinks sometimes. So we'll have a look at those. Then we've got, these are pretty, gingham spots and stripes. So these are the envelopes. So you get 3 of each design, and they're white on the inside. And then we've got 3 of these cards with this panel. So these cards are all pre-printed for you. They are white on the inside, so you don't need any extra layers. So there's 3 of those. And then we've got these 3 die cut panels where you've got a heart, dots and a green rectangle. I'll put these on the other side. Then we've got 3 pool party cards. And then these ones come ready printed. So you've got the little duck, you've got the little mouse, and you've got the little chipmunk. And then because you have the chipmunk stamp here, and you've got the tub of ice cream, you've got the flowers, you could obviously pop those on in his hands or her hands maybe, because she's pink. So there's 3 of those. And then we've got stripe cards. Those are really pretty, like candy stripes. And we've got a backing with some embossing on. I'm not sure that you can see the embossed details on there though. And then a whole series of dies for stamping the sentiments on. And what I do like is there's 4 of each, and that means you've got 1 for each card and 1 spare, either to use afterwards, or you can use 1 as a practice. And don't forget, because of the way that these are cut, you can actually stamp on either side anyway. So my recommendation, as you will know, is stamp on the back to try it out first, and then stamp it on the right side. There is just a slight beveled edge to that. And then we've got 3 of these panels, some glue dots, some dimensional foam pads to give the layers some height, and then we've got some yellow, let's put this underneath, yellow little flowers, they're very cute, and then some sequins here. So the only thing you will require really for this kit is a pair of scissors to open the kit to start with, and maybe the tip of the scissors to lift the glue dots if you haven't got a pokey tool or a piercing tool. You could also use a small needle. So these are the instructions. So let's give them a go. So today I'm going to do 1 of each card as designed, and then when I come back tomorrow I will do completely different variations on those cards. So let's get cracking. Let's do them in the order they've got them here. So obviously this one's got the bird, so the sentiment they're using is "a little birdie told me you were under the weather." So it's these ones here. Let's find the stamp. And take it off there. So obviously that's going to go onto that middle-sized die cut. Okay, so I'm going to pop it on the block, and you can either put the block straight or at an angle, whichever you're most comfortable holding really. I'm going to have this, well, it might be fairly straight. And I'm just going to use some grid paper to stamp on, but if you were a beginner crafter and you didn't have any supplies at all, then I recommend you just use the piece of cardboard. Okay, so in order to preserve this little ink spot, because I already have Starry Sky ink, I am going to use my main one. And I'm going to take the stamp, ink it up, and I like to stamp it a few times without putting my finger in to just get that stamp going. Now if you're using the ink spot, then what I would do is pop this onto the block, undo the spot, and then tap very lightly from the ink pad onto here. Still got mess on my block. Okay, so little birdie told me you're under the weather. That's going to go onto one of these, and I find it easier to leave these in situ than to take them out. Keeps them nice and straight. So I am going to practice what I preach. Turn this over and just stamp it on the back so I can see where it needs to go, whether I want it centralised, one side, whatever. So I'm happy with that. A little birdie told me you were under the weather. So I'm going to turn that over to the right side. Now I've had a practice, and just pop it on there. Like so. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is take the large panel. Now if I was doing all of these together, what I would do is stamp all of that and then go on to the next stage. Because I'm going to do something different with them tomorrow, I'm not going to stamp them all out because I might chop and change which sentiments I use. So for this card we want the pool party layer, which is this one here. Just going to fold that, and what you can do, as long as it's clean, is use the edge of your block to make that nice and flat. They are already scored, but by using that you'll make it sit extra flat. And then I'm looking for the green panels. Which are here. Like so. Like that. And these that I thought were white are actually blue. So they're embossed backgrounds. So you could, if you wanted to, use the white side, but they've got the blue side obviously there. And they even show you where to put the glue and dimensionals. So the circular ones are these little glue dots here. So, and then the actual character is going to go up on some dimensionals. Let's move that out of the way for the minute. So they've got this over to the right hand side. So let's just place it to see where it's going to go. Because obviously you can move this around as you wish. Let's grab our little birdie with the ice pack. There we go. So it's giving you this in vertical position. Morning Annabelle, morning Claire, but you could of course do your own thing and turn this round like so and have it that way. You could put this down on the right hand side and trim it off and do it like that. So there's so many different variations that you can do with these, but as a starter kit let's just do it exactly as is. So just turning that over, and I am just going to use a tool to lift these on here, just to make it a little bit quicker for you as much as anything. So this kit is £22, makes 9 cards, but you also then have the stamps, the block, the ink, and a few bits and pieces left over. So if you bought, for example, our note cards and envelopes, you could carry on and make more. Okay, so I've just got 6 little glue dots on there. Hoping you can see this okay. I'm just going to position this a little way in from the right hand side, like so. And then the green layer they've got overlapping, and they put it down a little bit. So 1, 2, 3. So we did have rain here last night, finally, as we've been waiting for it here in the UK. And temperature dropped a little bit, not a huge amount I have to say, but it's very, very pleasant. But of course a lot of places have had floods. Okay. Right, so I've taken those off. I'm going to pop that down here, so just slightly offset, like so. I've got one on my thumb. And then our cute little character here is going to have the foam adhesive on the top. So these are little foam pads, so they're about 2 millimeters high, and it allows you to add a little bit of height. There's a little bit there that pops out. There we go. Take the backings off. And you could have this little bird really any way you want in here. So I'm going to put it fairly close to the top, like so, like that. Yeah, well, Kerry, nothing like flooding like you've had, to be honest. And you know, in the scheme of things, it's just that the rainwater is too much for the drains. Okay, so we're going to add the sentiment. Let's just pop that out. And these do come out easily. You don't need scissors or anything. Okay, and this is going to go under here. So you could either have it right up underneath or there, and we're just going to put dimensionals on each corner like that. One and two. Like so. And then we're just going to add some sequins. Now this does also have some little yellow flowers. Which they put on the other one, but I think a little yellow flower would look nice too. And these are self-adhesive, so you don't have to glue these down. They have glue on them already. Just going to pop 2 up there. And let's pop 3 up there. There. So we've got 5 altogether. And there we go. So, because the stamp set has other sentiments, you could add these inside. So I've got "I'm here for you, but feel better soon." Put that on the inside, or the other one that says "ice cream is the best remedy for this." So I could just pop "feel better soon" on the inside. Let's put this back so I don't lose it. Okay. and again I'm just going to practice. Do this on your little bit of cardboard or a little bit of scrap paper. Make sure I've got this the right way round. Like so. Feel better soon. And there we go. That's card number 1. Okay, and that one has obviously the envelope to match. Let's see, I'm guessing probably that one. And you could put a little bird told me you're under the weather on the front as well if you wanted to. So there's card number 1. Let's pop that to one side. And let's just quickly do the others. As I say, I'll come back tomorrow and do some variations. This one has got, uses the heart. Like so. And it's got, even though this stinks, I'm here for you. And let's use that. So they've used the ink pad colour Starry Sky, but you could use anything else that you had to hand. Okay, and again, just practice it. You want to just make sure that there's no residue from the ink, from the stamp creation process. So just stamp it a few times. I've got my fingers in the ink. Okay, and they've got this stamped up on the left hand side. So that's going in there. In case anybody's wondering, that's Cassie, my dog. Oops, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to grab the green card with that pretty gingham design. And here, and obviously you can interchange the cards. So use the edge of the block, just make sure it's clean. If in doubt, score it along the back. Okay, this is going to go onto there, and I'm just going to use these for speed. It's a bit quicker than you watching me do. Glue dots. 2, 3. It's going to go on here. Roughly central. And of our characters, we've got this little one here, which I guess is a skunk. That's the word. Couldn't think what it was. Okay, so skunk is going to go on there, and then the sentiment "I'm here for you" is going to be stamped on one of these narrow pieces. So let's just get that ready. Alright, and again, just quick practice run. And if you want to stamp it on the back to try it out first, I'm going to be brave and just go straight for it. Okay. Pop that out. And again, it's definitely easier to stamp when it's in place. Because if you think about it, if you've just got that little piece and you're sort of approaching it here, you lose, you lose it under the stamp if you're not careful. Okay, so this is going to go on top, and we're just going to add some dimensional under here, because this is already raised here on the left hand side. So the dimensional is going to go here on the tail area, and then I'll just put two of those there, and they even show you where to put them. So, and all of these also have a video showing you how to create them. So obviously you can follow mine, come back and watch this one again at a later date if you buy the kit, or you can follow the video that Stampin' Up have created. So I'm just going to pop this here, like so. And they've got a couple of the little flowers and sequins. Just need to find mine. There they are, hidden under here. And then you can dot them round really wherever you want to. And I'm here for you. It's going to sit on there. They've got it sort of overlapping slightly. So again, I'm going to put some dimension on this very edge. And I might just cut a little piece down. Just so that you can't see it, it's not sticking out. There we go. Actually, it's a little bit too big. So I'm just going to peel that off altogether and just cut a smaller piece. Like so. Like that. So when you're putting things down, if you just put them down lightly, it gives you the opportunity to lift them and change them. Oh, of course you can, Brenda. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this month's designs, so of course you can. I'll pop you down. If you want to transfer the money, that would be grand when it's convenient. Perfect. There we go. That's it. And I've just put the sequins on there. Actually, I'm going to save the flowers because I like those. And then you could put the sentiment inside as well. You could do the Feel Better Soon or any of the other sentiments. And that obviously has the envelope to match. I'm presuming that one there with that lovely set of stripes. Thank you, Brenda, I appreciate that. So card number 2, and then very quickly card number 3. So as I say, I'm doing these as is, but do join me tomorrow when I'll do a variation of these just to show you some different things. Go. Okay, I like the fact that these are coloured on both sides. No worries, Jeanette. Thank you, darling. And then we've got the pink embossed layer, which is very cute. So also, it almost seems a shame to cover up that lovely stripe behind. Hi, Sue. Thanks for joining us. Are you still down here or are you back home again? I know you'd come down to see your dad. So just gently lifting this out. So this has got the cute little mouse. I almost wish they'd put the mouse as the stamp, not the little skunk, chipmunk, whatever. Okay, so for this one we also have, just take it from this piece here. Okay, so this is going to go across, a mouse is going to go on top, and then we've got ice cream is the best remedy for this in that little block. Oh, exciting. Well, thank you for joining me from Dobby's car park. Alright, so we're using this square one here, and the sentiment they've got is ice cream is the best remedy. Ice cream is the best remedy anytime. I have to say, I love ice cream. I wonder what your favourite flavour is. I wonder if you can guess what my favourite flavour is. Okay, ice cream is the best remedy. And again, just inking this up, testing it out on my paper first. And you can test it on the back of this as well. Like so. It's a sweet little kit, isn't it, Sue? It's very sweet. So, okay, and as I say, I've just ordered 2 new kits as well today that have just come in, literally. I'll pop some details about those later, so watch out for those next week. Okay, so those are my components, and I might put those little flowers on here. And let's just layer these up. So this one's going to go down first, and I am just going to use our dimensionals for speed. So I've released our class in a box for this month, as you will have seen, and I will also add a link to the email that went out with all the details. Of course I can, Sue. I forgot what I was going to say now. Which way they got those going? Yes, because I do know that a lot of my mail goes into people's spam and junk folders, even though they've signed up with me, and there's, you know, it's very clear these days that you can't just sign people up onto your newsletter. You have to have their permission, which is absolutely spot on and as it should be. But even though I do that, and people have responded, some of my mail still goes into their junk folder. So if you think you're on my mailing list and you haven't received anything, do by all means check your junk or your spam folder. Let me just let Cassie out. Go. So I'm just going to pop this one down flat. So Sue, was that the class in a box that you were after? Or a kit, I wonder? Go. Okay, so I'm just going to put this across here, and it's sort of there. Little mouse on top. Oh, the one I'm doing now. Yep, I can. I need to order one in though, but I will be ordering tomorrow. I haven't got one here now. So if that makes a difference in terms of timing, then let me know. Okay, I'm going to pop these up on dimensionals. 1, 2. 3. Just put 5 on there. I've only got 3, but I'm just going to give it a little bit extra support. There we go. So a little bit longer than my half hour, but that did include the introduction. So let's pop him on there, or her. She's got little eyelashes, so it could be a little girl, couldn't it, I think. And then ice cream is the best remedy. Like so. Oh, that's fine. No, no trouble, Sue. I hadn't realised you were down for so long, my darling. I hope we get to meet up at some point. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to use a couple of those cute little flower embellishments. Oh, there's one on my table here. Let's recover that one. Just do that. 3 of those. There we go. And that has the dotty yellow envelope to go with it. And that's it. There we are. Let me clear some space, showing you the finished cards in case you weren't here at the beginning. So this kit is called the Best Remedy Kit. Ice cream, excuse me, is the best remedy. Definitely agree with that. And it comes with everything you need. All you will need is a pair of scissors to open the pack and possibly just lift out the adhesive. So we've got 1, 2 and 3. Not sure you can see all of those. Let's see if I do it this way. So I think that's where I started. There we go. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me. This was our card there, our cute little mouse and the ice cream, but obviously you could use the Feel Better Soon, and then the little birdie told me you're under the weather, and I put Feel Better Soon on the inside for that one. And as I say, you get the full stamp set with lots of different sentiments as well, so even when you've finished, you can carry on. When you've made the cards, you can still carry on and make more with this little character here. So thank you so much. I hope you have a good day. I'm off to get everybody booked in for our next class, so I will pop the link to the mail up in the Facebook page. So if you haven't received it, you can take the information from there and book if you'd like to. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you joining me today. Do take care. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon or evening ahead, depending on when and where you're watching this from. Thanks for your support. Let's craft together soon. Bye for now.